You could learn jujitsu. Right. You thinking like, I might be able to open my own school one day. Or you could just be playing video games.
Yeah, you can do anything. That's so open-ended. Now, I'm not going to go off on some rant because I'm not going to have him beat my ass when he gets to Texas.
No.
So recently, Joe Rogan talked about video games on his podcast. He said video games are a complete waste of time, which got the gamers upset at him. Yeah. Considering how many of them are probably his audience, this is from Out of Context DT, by the way. Considering though how many of those are probably his audience, this was probably a bad idea. Anyway, want to know what you think, seeing how you guys frequently play games.
I'd imagine he does not play games, and that's why he's saying that. You know, it's the same thing that why Roger Ebert said they're not art. He's never played them. He's never experienced them. So he's just speaking from a point of ignorance. So I honestly just wouldn't take it seriously. You know, he just doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yeah. Yes. I'm going to put up the clip that he's saying. So
yeah. I haven't seen the clip. I'm just assuming basically what you're telling me.
Out of Context DT. I'm going to get some context from Out of Context.
That'd be cool. He's moving to Texas.
Is he?
Yep.
Did he say why?
I think he just doesn't want to deal with the Hollywood, the high taxes, and just how he doesn't like how overcrowded it is in LA.
The thing with you get all these people who say these things, and I don't get too upset because everybody has different opinions, but I will say if you speak out of ignorance, man, there's a lot of people, if they don't do something and if they're not familiar with it, then they still have this stigma of what it is, what society is giving it. Bill Maher with comic books, for example.
Exactly. He just doesn't know because he hasn't read any.
Yeah, exactly. He was very stupid. In fact, I'm not saying this from a nerdy level. I'm just saying I could say this about music, art, anything. Politics. If you don't know what you're talking about, then you just don't know what you're talking about. And when you come in with a strong opinion about something, you sound stupid if you just dismiss it because you're not familiar with it. Joe Rogan, let me see what he said. Did he say is he moving to Austin?
He didn't say where in Texas.
He's trying to move closer to, what's his name?
Oh, Alex Jones.
Alex Jones.
His friend?
His friend.
Maybe his friend. I don't even know where they...
I would love to ask. I don't know. You guys tell me what Joe Rogan's political affiliation. I think he's kind of more of a libertarian.
That sounds about right.
And I just got to ask, as a father, how can you stand to still have fucking Alex Jones on your show, man? A guy that put other fathers and mothers in danger, but this is what he talks about with video games.
They're a real problem. You know why? Because they're fun, but you don't get anywhere. Right. You could learn jujitsu. Right. You thinking like, I might be able to open my own school one day. Or you could just be playing video games.
You know what? I think you and I are thinking the same thing, but I saw you eager to talk, but
he raised his hand first.
I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna let you talk, but I think you and I are thinking the same.
Again, it's the point of ignorance. Well, he's probably not aware of people who make a living playing video games or are quite wealthy. I mean, I bet he has no idea even what Twitch is, or he just doesn't understand it. Because I play video games, and I make money from that. I'm actually doing something with it. I'm cultivating new content. I'm growing a larger audience. And so, for that point right there, that you're just going to keep playing video games, and there's not going to be any significant growth for yourself, whether it be monetarily or personally. That is not true. But again, he's speaking from a point of ignorance. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
As well, I have friends who've been studying jujitsu for more than 10 years, and they ain't opening their own studio.
How many people are opening up? The studios, man,
all this. Well, you could do this, you could do, or you could not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and if you're going to put something out there that's so open ended as you could, theoretically, you can do anything. Mm-hmm. That whole 300 hours rule. Shit, if I put 300 hours into anything, I could apparently going by that, I could be a rocket scientist by the end of it. I mean, you can do anything. That's so open-ended. Now, I'm not going to go off on some rant because I'm not going to have him beat my ass when he gets to Texas.
No. But And I'll say this about Joe Rogan. I think he's a very good interviewer because unlike so many interviewers out there, they never let people talk. He lets people talk, and I'm going to always give that to him. And I've seen a lot of his shows. He does produce great content.
No, he does. He does.
But at this point, he's ignorant.
But see, that's what I'm saying. There's been people out there, and you got to understand, like, there's people who will say some very intelligent things, some smart things. They'll pull people in, and people will be respectful of them because they have said some very thoughtful things. Mm-hmm. I think Joe Rogan is the kind of guy that he attempts to go in and understand people. He brings on He doesn't just bring on anybody for a laugh. He doesn't bring on people for comedy all the time. He wants to have engaging, thoughtful conversation, intellectual conversations with people. So when you hear him talk about something that he absolutely knows nothing about, then you kind of you want to sit back and understand. Because at first I was like, okay, maybe he's going to get to the addictive side of video games.
Sure.
But if you're talking about how anybody, and I'm just going to repeat what you said, man. You know, if you're talking about somebody can theoretically go off and start their own dojo or school or whatever, you clearly haven't seen the people that are not rich, who on platforms like Twitch and even YouTube. People are just making a decent living.
They make a living at it. Yeah, it's very true. There's so many. There's thousands, millions of people that do that.
Well, just even the more obvious is the people who make the games to begin with, people who've played and then got into the industry.
That's a great point.
I mean, I don't know how you missed that, because those games don't just appear inside of a flower.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
There's whole teams that get paid to create those things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. My argument that I would bring up, if I was sitting on this show, my argument to bring up to him, I would say, you know what? You just got $100 million payday from Spotify doing something that people said was a waste of time years ago and wouldn't go anywhere. Podcasting. You all of a sudden say, I don't want to act. I don't want to be on sets with people telling me what to do. I got to wait all the time. It's like he says, I love doing this podcasting. If you had started this like 20 years ago when podcasting was coming up and it was on being made popular by Apple, iTunes and all that kind of stuff, people would have said, this is cool, but you're never going to go anywhere with it.
Yeah.
Out of here, man. You know, we all do it. Sure. I've done it. We all speak
from a point of ignorance.
We all speak from a point of ignorance, and so you know, this is his point of ignorance right here. And at least I tell him, and I hate to go back, bring this guy back up, but at least he's not as smarmy as Bill Maher. I think if you were to sit down and explain to Joe Rogan, like, okay, this is the reason why you're wrong.
Just show him.
Yeah. I'd love to talk to him about that. That'd be actually really cool. But yeah, Bill Maher just wouldn't care. And he even downplayed the death of someone like Stan Lee, which is made even worse.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't think he's like, I said it, so I don't give a I'm going to be right no matter how much you try to prove me wrong, even if I am wrong. That's the biggest problem with Bill Maher. He's like, the more you tell, the more he realizes he's wrong, unless Ice Cube is there to beat the shit out of him for saying the N-word, the more you tell him that he's wrong, the more he's like, oh, I don't give a f.
Or he'll double down on it.
I don't care. You didn't. What am I supposed to say? You're a bunch of nerds who like your nerd shit. Joe Rogan, I think, would actually sit down and understand.
Yeah.
But, because like I said, man, people are making money not just on Twitch, making money on YouTube with video games. And they are just making just a living. People are like, they're not living, big lavish lifestyles. They say, I'm able to pay my rent. I'm able to like buy food. I can't go out and to the bar all the time and get a beer. I can't buy fancy clothes and sneakers and cars, but I'm doing, the dream, which is just getting by, playing video games.
Yeah.
Hey, look, it's better to probably get by doing what you love than be making crazy money doing something that you hate.
Yeah, that's true.
So, yeah, man. Anyway.
Thanks for bringing it up, whoever did that. It was good.
Yeah, that was Out of Context DT.
Thank you.
That was very good. Might even put this discussion up. Talk about it. Might put this on YouTube. People say YouTube is a stupid waste of time.
We'll get his audience coming after us. I don't know if I want to do that.